Hi, everyone. So the difference between previous videos on the sections and this video is that I'm actually going to make a few mini videos within each part of section 3. So this video is only going to focus on part A. So within part A, I'm asking to give a description of your student's school. So I have chosen 2 schools within Fairfax County that you're going to use. So I'm going to show you how you would access information regarding to demographics of students, staffing, and continuum of services. So what I'm going to ask, I'm just going to use Armand as an example. So our 3rd grade student, so we're going to be using Beech Tree Elementary School. So I'm going to copy paste that into Google, and you can just click on Beech Tree. So typically when we see the school's website, we can go to the About section and we can look at the school profile. So we're going to view school profile. Okay. So this provides us information regarding just providing us an overview of the school, demographics, staffing, test results, etc. So I'm going to look back at our document. So we want demographics of students. So I'm going to go back to the profile and go to the demographics section. Now you see that this page looks at the last 3 years. So the most current is the 1920 school year. So it does not account for this school year. So that's what I'd like you to use. So we are going to look in terms of the demographics of students. We're going to look at the ethnicity of students. So I'm actually just going to see if we can just copy paste this information into, I might even be able to just look at, this is a really nice graph too. So for the sake of this, I'm actually just going to snag a picture of this because this is the information that I'm going to use. So I'm just going to copy this into this document. So this is super small, but I can actually look and access this information later. So I know that when I'm looking at demographics, this could be race specific, this could be gender, some other information that you might want to look at is looking at this information. So we know that 15% of students receive special education services. So I'm actually going to look at that too. So I've included, so this is race information. And then for students with disabilities, 15.7% receive services. Additionally, I think when looking at this school, there are 43% of students are also English language learners. So that's also, I think, important to note. So it's really up to you in terms of how, what type of information you want to include, but really kind of the minimum is looking specifically at the race of your students or ethnicity. So looking at this information is important, okay? Some other things to also note too is free or reduced lunch. So this school has 66% free or reduced, which is also showing us that this is a school that has a high population of students that are receiving free or reduced lunch. So this is a lower economic status. So that kind of information could also be seen in the school summary. So I would also encourage you guys to read the school summary too. Okay, so that is for this section. For staffing, I'm going to go and look up at staffing. Okay, so in terms of specialists and teachers, there are 40 teachers who are specialists and teachers. So when we're thinking about specialists and teachers, these teachers are responsible for providing instruction. Okay. Also, when we look at instructional assistants and attendants, we also might want to think about including them because instructional assistants also can support special education. So we see that there's 2 administrators, probably 1 assistant principal and 1 principal. There's 1 counselor, 3.5 custodians. So I'm going to include this information. So in terms of teachers, there are 40.5, and then for instructional assistants, there are how many? 14. And again, I'm not saying that there's going to be 14 that are going to be supporting special education, but there is going to be a number in here that may be supporting special education. So in terms of looking at the continuum of services for students with exceptional learning needs, so we want to be able to look at the overview to kind of see what types of programs that they have. So they have English for speakers of other languages, foreign language in elementary. They have, they do have an ABA program, which is applied behavior analysis. So this is a subset for students with disabilities. So that's going to be important for us to look at. So in terms of, we can even click to get a description about ABA if we wanted to. But that's definitely important for us to know. So they have an advanced academics. So we could say that students receive services in general education and special education settings. I'm also going to including ABA, which could be part of their preschool program, because it doesn't specifically say. Also, I'm also going to include advanced academic, local level 4, because this is for students who are gifted. So even in our school summary, we can see we provide programs across the spectrum of needs. We have a school-based academic resource program, English as a second language, and special education that span from enhanced autism to speech and language. So I'm going to actually copy this and paste it in there because that's really helpful. Okay, so I'm going to put that in and I'm going to add the citation. And this is, we could say, we could just list this as Fairfax County, and we want to be able, so this has been updated in 2016 or 2019. So I'm going to cite it as Fairfax County Public Schools, 2000, what did I say, 19? 19. So in this section, we have provided information regarding the demographic of students. So I used race information, the percentage of students with disabilities, and English language learners. I included the staffing information and continuum of services. So again, students receive services in general ed, special education settings that include ABA and advanced academics. So I also included this summative statement that I found on the site. So that's it for part A.